Hello, my darlings. You are so welcome to the Power Podcast for Lightworkers. Absolutely thrilled to have you here. And really hope, as usual, that this supports you on so many levels in your life and in your spiritual business to go really big, get your healing gifts out there into the world, to create a business that's fulfilling, that's sustainable, and that's profitable, that brings you in money so that you can continue to share your beautiful healing gifts out there into the world without burnout, without exhaustion, or without giving up, so that we can keep going and keep sharing and keep shining your light out there into the world. So today, I thought this would be a bit of fun to share maybe 5 surprising things that you might not know about me. 5 things that I think have contributed to my success in spiritual business, that have allowed me to reach thousands of light workers around the world and share my healing gifts, my healing programs and courses. And it's a business that keeps growing. And these are 5 sort of habits or things that I do almost naturally now that I think have made the biggest difference in my life. And they're things that I'll probably never ever give up. So I thought they might be useful to share with you. And I just want to preface this by saying I am not a naturally tidy person. I hate cleaning, and I'm not very organized. So that's the way I grew up. I hate cleaning. I just do not clean or do any sort of manual work unless I absolutely have to. I'm more of a thinker. My nature is messy, unorganized, and living on the cuff, literally minute to minute, very present. Let's see what we're doing now, 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 now. That's my nature. So a lot of these things I've brought on board over the years to support me to where that behavior or that personality has been challenging. So in particular, when my kids arrived, I have two kids, and when they were young babies, I suddenly had, so it was me, then it was my husband. He's very organized and clean and very tidy and keeps good care of his things. And then there was my 2 kids arrived. And for any of you that had kids, that kids come with all their paraphernalia, buggies, cots, uh, like it's a mountain of new stuff, that all the gifts that you usually get as if you have a young kid, if you have a big family like mine, lots of gifts, lots of toys, lots of clothes that they grow out of really quickly, lots of stuff and things. And for me, who's not a naturally tidy person, that was just completely overwhelming. I just could never keep on top of the house. I was studying, I was raising these kids, I was trying to start a business, I was working part-time, and I could just never keep on top of the house. So I really just started to try to find little things that could help me to feel like I was back in control of my life. And as I said, these things were really not native to me. They weren't something that was easy, and that I really had to apply these little tiny tweaks to make a big difference now. So some of them, one person I found was called Fly Lady. I think it's flylady.net, and I think she's still around. And I downloaded a PDF or something of hers, and every day I got these emails from her. But her main principles were to make your bed every day. So I've been making my bed every single day for about 8 years now. It's literally made within the first hour, sometimes sooner than that. If I get up and I'm on my own in the bed, I will literally make it straight away. And that simple thing has done so much for my mental health and my ability to feel like I've achieved before the day even starts. And I had all sorts of, no, you have to air the bed, you have to take down the sheets, you have to open all the windows, you have to let in some air before you make the bed. she just said, no, just make the bed. I change it every week to 10 days, the covers, and wash them, and that's enough. But in terms of daily, I just get up out of the bed and I make the bed as quickly as possible. And I would urge you, this is one simple thing that every single one of us can try to get on top of our things, to get on top of our stuff. And in particular, if you're working at home or you have young kids, teach them to make their beds as well. This one simple thing, try it out for 28 days and come back and tell me if it hasn't supported you in some way, if it hasn't given you, even if it's a tiny little spark of happiness when you walk into your room and instead of a crumpled bed, the bed is actually made and it's one thing that you have got a handle on for the day. So I do that every single day, no matter where I am in the world. I get up and I make the bed. And it surprises me that I didn't do it for nearly 40 years of my life. No, it's because it's so second nature and it's one of the core things. The second thing is that I have simplified my wardrobe. I only have 3 or 4 colors in my wardrobe. I've taken out all the colors that don't complement me, my skin tone. I have silver hair now. So all of the colors that don't complement me, my hair, my skin tone, whatever, they're just out of my wardrobe. They're not there anymore. I've just deleted, decluttered, and simplified everything. And I also had a session years ago with a wardrobe consultant, stylist, and who became a good friend of mine. And she literally told me the colors that just weren't suitable for me, for my skin tone at that time. And also told me what style or what shape of clothes fit me. It's good, look good on the shape of body that I have. So everything else just went. And it has saved me time in shopping because I literally walk into a shop or a sale or something now and I'm like, forget about that, forget about that. That's the shape, that's the color. Everything else, I don't even look at. I wouldn't even try it on anymore. So I don't wear white, I don't wear black, I don't wear creams or beige or any of those colors. They do nothing for me because my hair is silver now and they just do nothing. So vibrant reds, deep indigo blues, pinks are good, even orange, deeps. There's a particular type of orange that is, I just avoid it like the plague, but there is one type of orange that I love. It's more on the red spectrum. And there's a little bit of green and a little bit of purple in my wardrobe, and that is it. All of the other colors are gone. Yellow, I love yellow as a color, but it looks crap on me. So there's no yellow in my wardrobe at all. So purples, pinks, very deep blues, or reds all work well for me. And that is it. And I've simplified my wardrobe down to that, and everything else is gone. And they're all in a particular shape or style, and everything else is gone. And I love jeans and I love trousers. So it's just one particular style of jeans that I love, that suits me, that makes me feel good, and all the different color tops and things to go with that. And I have a few dresses that I wear, but I have literally a very minimalist wardrobe that mainly has pieces in it that I absolutely love, and that make me feel good, and everything else is gone. So that's it. Make the bed and simplify your wardrobe. Go through your wardrobe and really honestly, look at yourself. You can do this because I've seen videos of myself with cream and I was like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Completely washed out. Whereas I've seen some other people who look amazing in cream, amazing in black, amazing in grays, but none of those colors work for me. So you can try on some clothes in your wardrobe that you're not sure of, and take some photos of yourself, and then look back at those photos and really be honest with yourself, or maybe get somebody else. And I've done this with my kids when they're in and they're picking clothes and I know that it's not a good color for them. I've literally taken a photo and said, here you go, there's three different things, which one do you look better in, honestly? And they're able to identify. So that's the second thing. The third thing, and anything that's coming in here, anything that's ahas, that messages, you agree, you disagree with me, post it in the comments. Let me know. Let's have a discussion about this. What are the things that you do that have simplified your life, that have helped you to create an amazing life and business? What are the habits? The third thing has revolutionized my life. And it's I batch everything, almost everything I batch in my life, personal and business, relationships, everything. So batching is this concept that if we do one thing at one time, it probably takes us about an hour. I'm going to give you an example of this. But if we do two things two similar things at the same time, they'll probably take us, instead of 2 hours, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. If we do three things of a similar type of thing, it'll probably take us an hour and a half as opposed to 3 hours. So an example of that would be if you're, like, let's say in business, if you're writing an email. So if I'm writing a really good email that I want to send out to my audience, that's about my thoughts about the week, whatever, it can take about an hour to sit down, to brainstorm an idea. I might have an idea floating around, to actually get that written down. I will then send it to myself to have a read what it looks like on a phone when it arrives to me. I'll then make changes. I'll then add in tweaks. I'll then make sure that I have an offer in there, and it can take me about an hour to get all of the parts. We have a template for emails to fill in all of the parts of the template, make sure that I'm making the current offer, whatever it is that I'm sharing at that time, and that the email makes sense to that offer. And it's also personal and something that I want to share. And it's beautiful. Sometimes, when you're writing, you can write something, and then when you read it back, you're like, oh my God, that's not what I meant. I wanted it to come across softer, and you have to edit and whatever. So it can take about an hour. But if I batch 3 emails, I'm already in the zone. I'm already warmed up. I'm already writing emails. I'm already have created a quiet space, and I'm doing it at a time of day when I won't be disturbed. And I have the time, and I have my computer, and everything is here. All the setup is here. And it literally, instead of an hour to create the second email, it probably takes maybe 30 minutes, because I'm already at the computer. I already have the doc open. I already am writing. I'm fresh, and the ideas are flowing. I know what I'm saying. And so the second email might take a half an hour. And then a third email might take maybe 20 minutes. Maybe those 3 emails flow and have a similar idea that's flow, or a couple of ideas that connect with each other. And it's just bang, bang, bang. And in 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes, you have 3 emails written. Or maybe you quicken up the system even more by, you can speak 1,000 words in 6 minutes. So maybe you're speaking the email into a Google Doc, and it's transcribing it for you, which is possible. Or you're recording your voice. Maybe you're batching again. Maybe you're like, I'm batching this podcast at the moment. So I'm over a period of 6 weeks want to record 100 episodes. Now, I don't know if it's possible for me to do 100 episodes, but that's the goal. I'm recording live sessions. I'm reached out to people that I want to interview, and they're being batched. So on, let's say, a particular day, let's say a Wednesday, I have 4 interviews set up. Another day, I might have 4 live coaching calls set up. And another day, like today, I'm doing 4 or 5 solo podcast episodes that I can then edit and share and whatever. So I'm batching similar activities in on similar days. I don't know what the exact statistic is, but it's something like, when we switch from one task to another, that we lose minutes of our life, of our concentration, of our focus. We lose time by switching. And I love switching. I am an ideas woman. I want to be doing 10 things at once. But I have found over time that that is not the most productive way for me to use my time. It's better if I say, right, here's a block of 3 hours, and I'm only going to be doing emails in that time. I'm only going to be working on my money in that time. I'm only going to be, doing admin. I'm only going to be creating content. I'm only going to be delivering live sessions or one-to-one sessions. So my calendar is blocked out like that so that I batch everything. So Mondays is all about money. I teach this in the Power Mastermind. If you want to join us there, you'll go deep on all of this. But Mondays is Money Mondays. Tuesday is creating content. It's client enrollment. Wednesday and Thursday is my client delivery. It's when I do my live calls to groups that I'm teaching at the moment, or I do my one-to-one calls. And then Friday is a catch all day. And sometimes I do some live trainings and master classes. Sometimes I do free work live streams. Sometimes I catch up on, maybe some training that my own coach has given me and I need to work through. And then Saturday is clean up, organize, delete, declutter. And Sunday for me is my planning day. So obviously I have plenty of time in there for self-care. I go to the gym, I go to yoga, I have a yoga class almost every morning. And I have a family and everything else. But it's like I know what I'm doing every day. I batch the content. So it's not that Monday, I'm doing an email, I'm doing some admin, I'm checking my bank accounts, I'm sending invoices, I'm doing a one-to-one call. No, every day has one type of task or one sort of group of similar tasks that make sense together on every day. And that's how I work. That works best for me and it optimizes my time. I highly recommend that you implement something like that. And if you're working full time or you're working part time, you adjust your schedule to that. Obviously, when my kids were younger, I was working part time. I didn't have time every single day to work on my business. So it could be 2 days, or it could be a Saturday with childcare, or a Sunday if there were activities and my husband was taking them, so you have to adjust your schedule to suit you. So that is the third thing, is batching. The fourth thing is that I don't really own a lot of stuff. I don't own a lot of stuff. We've moved 4 times in 4 years. And the gift of that is that each time we've shed some stuff, some of my personal stuff, some of the stuff from the kids. I don't get sentimental about a lot of stuff. More paper is the hard thing for me because I love to write and create notes but actual stuff, clothes, furnishings, uh, games, things that we use, car that I drive, bags that I have, that's just stuff. And I love it and I appreciate it, but I really have the minimum that I need. And usually I buy specifically exactly what I need. So before I used to just randomly go shopping, maybe I'll pick this up and pick this. Now I have the mindset that came from Minimal Mom. You can find her on YouTube. Of that everything that comes into your house is inventory. And it's inventory that you are responsible for and you need to manage and mind and take care of and organize. And not being an organized person, I just have to reduce the inventory. And over a period of about 8 years, I've gone through my whole house. As I said, we moved 4 times in 4 years, but let's say in the last the years before that, when I was in Ireland, I literally went through my whole house and minimized as much as possible. I'm not a minimalist. I heard somebody call themselves a mediumalist, and I like that idea, but I do have a lot less stuff than you'd probably think for someone like me. I wear things for a very long time. I find stuff that I like and I wear them for a very long time until they literally fall off. I uh, yeah, that's just my mentality on stuff, that I have less stuff to mind, and I have this with my kids as well. Less stuff to mind and less brain power going to manage to clean, to tidy, and I've found over the years that it's mentally relaxing for me to have empty spaces in the environment that I live in. For you, you might like lots of color. You might like beautiful, your idea of um, a beautiful environment. It might be different types of furnishings. I love Scandinavian. I love IKEA sort of vibe with some little touches of luxury and colors. But basically, my palette for my house is simple, 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 clear, fresh, and that's how I want my mind to be. And that's the idea. And I do have little touches of color. So that is the fourth thing, that I own very little, and I really minimize the inventory that comes into my home and into my business and in every area of my life. And the final thing, I really hope that this is useful. It's just maybe giving you an insight in things that have worked for me over the years. And this is not, I didn't decide on any of these and it happened overnight. Some of them, it took years to arrive at all of these en masse, these 5 things, implementing them second nature now. But the last one is that I plan everything. I plan like a crazy person. I do some planning every week, every month, every quarter. I plan for the year ahead. I plan seasonally. I look at my responsibilities. I look at what's happening in the year ahead, where I'm going to do a launch, what I'm going to launch, when I'm going to launch, where I'm going to launch, what events and what things I'm going to organize. Like, for example, we're moving again next year. And so there's 2 months where I'm just not going to be available. There's going to be some passive income products working there in the background, bringing in the income and my subscriptions and whatever that's coming in. And I'll be working with just my Power Mastermind community and a few one-to-one clients. And that's it, because I'll be busy moving. But I already know that in advance. And I already know when I'm going to host my live retreat. That'll be in October. And I'm going to do a virtual one probably around May. So if you're watching this around May, join us. So I already have the year mapped out ahead. It wasn't always like this. I really want you to get that these are all things that I've learned over time and that have worked for me over time. But I plan, and within the Power Mastermind, this is one of the core get started teachings that I teach and talk about, and that I keep coming back to and emphasizing over and over and over again, because I cannot overstress how important this is, to plan out your week, to plan out your month, plan out your quarter, plan out your year, so that you know exactly how much you need to bring into your business, what you need to be doing, how many people you need to be getting your product, your services in front of, how that's going to be. Is it going to be an email? Is it going to be a podcast? Is it going to be a video series? Is it going to be blog? Is it going to be live streams? What is it? And where are you going to batch this content? Where are you going to create this content in relation to where you are in the year? So if you have young kids, if you have elderly parents, if you're going on holidays in the summer, the summer for me is very quiet because I live in Italy and it's hot here. So especially the month of August and even into the first couple of weeks of September, it's really hot here. So it's not ideal for me to be sitting in front of a computer. So I try to take August physically off if I can. My business is working in the background. The wheels are turning. A lot of it is automated, but I'm physically not as live as much. Everything is set up already. At Christmas time, I try to take off 2 or 3 weeks. Around Easter, I try to take off 1 or 2 weeks. So it's, a year planned out. And that is one of the things that has made an immense difference in my life. So my darlings, your turn. Share with me what you do in your life that supports you. What little tweaks, what habits have you picked up along the way? Anything you want to share that might be useful for somebody else? Read the comments. Comment wherever you're watching this video or listening to this podcast, the audio version, and let us know. Let's start a conversation. And remember that we drop an episode every Tuesday and Thursday. All you have to do is go to ashlingmooney.com/subscribe, and you will get notified every time we have a new podcast episode out. So you'll never, ever miss one again. Okay, my darlings, I will see you next time. I hope this was enjoyable. Share it with everybody that you know would get some benefit and enjoy this episode. Loads of love. See you soon. Bye.